She said it with a smirk, her glass of red wine tilting in her hand like she wanted to toast to her own cruelty. You're not man enough to handle my independence. The words sliced through the dim glow of our kitchen like a blade, sharp and deliberate. For a moment I didn't say anything. I just stared at her. At the woman I'd built a life with, the one whose laugh used to sound like home. She was leaning against the counter barefoot, wearing that silk robe I bought her on our anniversary. Her lipstick was smudged. Not the way I used to smudge it. I set my drink down slowly. And you're not woman enough to keep my loyalty. The silence that followed didn't feel like victory. It felt like collapse. Her eyes narrowed, something between fury and shock flashing through them. Excuse me. But I didn't answer. Because I was still reeling. Not from her words but from what I already knew. The perfume that wasn't hers. The late-night girls' dinners that ended with her coming home hours after the restaurants closed. The way she'd started locking her phone. It had been building for months, little things that didn't make sense. The receipts she threw away too quickly. The hotel email confirmation she couldn't explain. The hollow sound of her "I love you." I didn't want to believe it. I told myself she was just distant. That I was imagining it. That every relationship goes through phases. But then came the moment I couldn't deny. A week ago, her phone had buzzed while she was in the shower. The name on the screen, M, was unfamiliar. I shouldn't have looked. But I did. Last night was dangerous. I can still taste you. I felt my stomach twist, the air leaving my lungs like I'd been punched. I didn't confront her then. I just stared at the message until the words burned into my mind. Dangerous. Taste. When she came out wrapped in a towel, humming softly, I couldn't even speak. I just smiled and said I'd be working late. And for the next 7 days I played the part of the clueless husband, kissing her forehead, asking about her day, pretending I didn't know that every "I love you" she said tasted like a lie. Until tonight. Now she was standing in front of me, her robe half open, her words slashing at the last of my restraint. "You've been so controlling lately," she said, pacing. "Always questioning where I go, what I do. I need space, Mark. I need to breathe." I forced a laugh. "And who exactly is helping you breathe these days?" Her steps faltered. "Just a flicker, but enough." "There it is," I whispered. "The tell." She crossed her arms. "You're being paranoid." "Then say his name," I said quietly. Her lips parted but no sound came. "Say his name," I repeated, stepping closer. "The one you text at midnight. The one who makes you laugh the way I used to." She swallowed hard, eyes darting away. "You've been going through my phone? You've been going through someone else's bed," I said, my voice cracking. The air between us went still. For a long moment neither of us moved. The only sound was the ticking of the clock, slow and cruel. Then she said softly, "I didn't mean for it to happen." I laughed. A hollow, bitter sound that didn't feel like mine. That's what people always say when they mean they chose it. Tears welled in her eyes, but I couldn't tell if they were guilt or regret, or just fear of being caught. "You stopped seeing me," she said. "You buried yourself in work, in responsibilities." I was lonely. I stared at her, at the woman who used to sleep tangled in my arms, whispering dreams in the dark. "So you punished me by destroying us?" "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it?" I snapped. "Love? A mistake? Therapy between the sheets?" Her silence was answer enough. I turned away, running a hand through my hair, trying to breathe past the weight crushing my chest. The house felt suddenly alien. The same kitchen we painted together. The same fridge covered in pictures of vacations and fake smiles. "Does he know you're married?" I asked. She hesitated. "Yes." I looked at her then. Really looked. "Then he doesn't love you either." She flinched like I'd hit her. And for a moment I hated myself for saying it. But hate was easier than heartbreak. I walked into the living room, the floorboards creaking beneath me, and sat on the couch. The smell of her perfume still lingered in the air, floral, sweet, suffocating. I stared at the photograph on the wall, our wedding day. Her hand in mine. Her eyes bright with promises she never meant to keep. She followed me quietly, sitting across the room. "I ended it," she said. "You have to believe me. It's over." I looked up at her. "When?" "Yesterday." "Before or after you told him you loved him?" She blinked, startled. "How did you?" "I read everything. I said flatly. Every message. Every photo. Every lie. Her lips trembled. Mark. You told him I was too safe. Too predictable. That I didn't make you feel alive. I leaned forward, my voice shaking. So what am I supposed to feel now? Dead. Her tears finally fell, but I couldn't move to comfort her. Something inside me had turned to stone. I was going to tell you, she whispered. I swear. Why didn't you? Because I knew I'd lose you. You lost me the moment you said his name, like a secret worth keeping. For a long time we sat in silence. The clock kept ticking, steady and merciless. Finally she said, So what now? I didn't know. I wanted to scream, to break something, to walk out and never look back. But part of me still loved her. That was the cruelest part of all. I don't know, I said honestly. But whatever this is, it's not love anymore. She nodded slowly, wiping her tears. Maybe we both stopped being who we were supposed to be. Maybe, I said. But at least I didn't stop being honest. She stood, her hands shaking, and walked toward the door. I'm sorry, she said softly. For everything. I didn't answer. I just watched her leave, the sound of her footsteps fading into the night like the closing of a chapter. When the door shut, I sat there for a long time, staring at the empty space she'd left behind. The house felt too big, too quiet. On the table, her phone buzzed once. A message flashed across the screen before it went dark. You did good tonight. He'll come around. I felt my breath catch. It wasn't over. Not even close. And as I stared at that screen, I realized she hadn't chosen between us. She was still choosing. Only now I was done playing the fool.